Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. I'm going to use my animal oracle cards. If you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, please feel free to check out the links below. Also, please show support for the channel by liking, subscribing, and watching my videos all the way through. I greatly appreciate, more than you know, all of your support. All right, so we have the current situation, overcome any obstacle, right? Going through a challenge right now, and then we have what's crossing that is life speeding up, like feeling like you're running out of time for a situation, that you have this obstacle, you have this challenge, you have something going on, and you feel like time is just going by and there is no resolution. What do you need to focus on? Love is all around. I feel like that's having that support from the people around you, right? That if you feel that this is a challenge that you can't overcome or is hard to overcome, surrounding yourself with those people that are supportive. We have your past leaving behind. Magic works through you. We have your strengths. Be loyal to what you love. We have the near future. Time for beginner mind. Love that. Love beginner mind. Advice. Be playful. Kind of lightening the mood. We have the moth spirit. Surrender now. We have hopes and fears. There is always enough. And I love this one, potential outcome, the peacock spirit, let it shine, right? Let it shine, coming out of your shell, standing up, like being that peacock and showing all of your beautiful feathers and how beautiful you are and how amazing you are. But the most important thing is that you have to believe that yourself in order for all of those feathers to shine. All right, let's grab some tarot. Okay. So again, we have the current situation, overcoming any obstacles. So that's pretty clear within itself. And then what's being challenged by that is life is speeding up, feeling like you're running out of time, feeling like life is passing you by, feeling like you're running out of time. All right. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords and Temperance. So I also feel like it's trying to come up with a situation. Ooh, the brain is going too quick today. I had too much coffee. Trying to come up with a solution as how do I overcome this obstacle. Could have to do with something at work. Maybe you're not feeling happy about your job. Maybe, you know, where you work is not where you want to be. Sometimes we have to have those jobs or work those situations where we're like, okay, this is just going to be temporary, but this is not what I want to do. And sometimes it's like, okay, this was just supposed to be temporary, but I'm still doing this, right? That can definitely be frustrating, is that you're like, okay, I just want to do this for a little bit, but I'm still here. I'm still doing this. Nothing has changed. But I almost feel like you have to look at, okay, if nothing's changed, is it because I didn't make an effort to change anything? Was I just sort of accepting that? Was I just sort of dealing with it because I felt that making change would be so much of an obstacle that I don't want to do it, right? And I feel like maybe that's what you're questioning, is saying, you know, well, nothing's changed because I haven't made any effort to change it. That if you want change, you have to be changed. That if you want something to change, that you need to make the effort. You need to make the changes. And maybe that's what you're kind of realizing, like, wow, so much time has gone by and I'm still in this situation. I'm still dealing with this. I'm still not happy. I'm still having this obstacle that I'm trying to deal with. But realizing that, hey, time is slipping away and nothing's being resolved. What you need to focus on, I feel like, is love is all around. I also feel like it's, like I said before, it's surrounding yourself with those people that are supportive of you, and maybe listening to those people that are saying, hey, why don't you do something about that? Why don't you change that? Why don't you look into this? Or why don't you do that? And kind of listening to those people, or those people that are saying that, hey, you don't look like you're happy. You don't look like you're enjoying yourself. You don't seem like yourself. And kind of listening to what those people are saying around you. But I also feel like love is all around is because you have to love yourself in order to make those changes, right? You have to love yourself. You have to look out for yourself. That you have to say that, hey, if I'm not happy, I have to do something about it. I have to make the change. I have to change things up. I have to look out for myself because nobody else is going to do it. Maybe there are people around you that will do it, yes. But in the end, you're the one that has to make the changes. You're the one that has to do things. So we have your past, or what you're leaving. We have magic works through you. I almost feel like you're kind of feeling like, oh, that you're not in control of a situation. I kind of feel like you have this scattered energy. I feel like that's what you want to leave behind, is that you want to say, okay, I want to leave the doubts behind. I want to leave the confusion behind. I want to leave any negative energy behind. And I want to start working on what is important to me. Again, your strengths, be loyal to what you love. What do you love? What do you love to do? What makes you happy? What makes you smile? What makes you motivated? Look at that. I just asked that. Be loyal to what you love. What makes you happy? And 3 of Cups came out. I love it. I love when things like that happen. What brings you happiness? What brings you joy? Sometimes it's like those, the little things that start to add up, right? What are those little things that make you happy? What are those little things that you can feed off of that can get you motivated again? That if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like this obstacle is too big, like I said before, what are those tools that you have that you can use to get yourself back on track, that you can start getting yourself motivated, that you can get yourself starting to focus again, right? On the positive, on success, on victory, getting yourself back on track. We have the near future is time for beginner mind. Okay, so if what it was doing before wasn't working, using this beginner mind and saying, okay, what can I do now that can get me on track? What can I do now? What's that time for beginner mind? Kind of starting all over. Sometimes I feel like you have to go back to the basics. And kind of start from there. Sometimes you get too ahead of yourself. Like, for instance, I have my horse, and so when I'm trying to train him things, I'm trying to teach him something, but I feel like we need to go back to the basics, right? We need to go back to maybe just walking, on with the rope and just going for a walk, right? Not even riding him, but just like, let's just go for a walk, or let's just hang out, or let's just not go to that level. Let's bring things back. And I feel like that's this here. Like, if you feel like things have gotten back out of control, let's go back to the basics of, okay, what made me happy on a regular basis? Like something really simple. Like for me, it's like, okay, if I buy myself some flowers, oh, I love that. Like that makes me happy. And every time I see those flowers, it's like, okay, I want to motivate myself. It brings a smile to my face. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel cheerful. And it's like, okay, then I put myself in that energy and I say, okay, what else can I do that will make me happy? What else can I do that can motivate me and put me in that positive energy, right? What are those things that I can do? And this is what helps you to grow. If you say, hey, I'm way too far ahead of myself, let me rein it back in and let me have this beginner mind, is how do I change things, right? How do I get things back on track? We have advice, be playful. I feel like it's just go have fun. Sometimes life just becomes too heavy, it becomes too much, it's too emotional, it's too draining. Like there's all of these responsibilities, right? Massive headaches from, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my bills? I hate my job, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, you know what? I need to step away from that. Let me just be playful. Let me just go have some fun. What is it that I love to do, right? Be loyal to what you love. Maybe it's taking your dog for a walk, right? You go to a special dog park, or you take the dog to the lake or the beach, or you go for a hike. Whatever that is, be playful, have fun, right? Making that choice, making that decision and saying, okay, what do I want to do? What makes me happy? What is something fun that I can do? And you'd be really surprised how much that's going to recharge you and how better you're going to feel. And you're like, okay, now I can handle all the heaviness of life, right? I love to go to the zoo. They have a really nice zoo here. So sometimes it could just be doing that, right? Just walking around and doing that. And that can recharge you because you're kind of escaping, right? Not being on your phone, not, just stepping away from all of that, giving yourself a break from that and go have some fun. We have environment surrender now. And that's what I was saying here is stepping away from all of the heaviness of this obstacle, right? Whatever that obstacle represents to you, is step away from the heaviness of that and take a break. Go have some fun, even whether it's an hour, whether it's half the day, whether it's a whole day, whether it's a weekend getaway, whatever that is that can work for you. But just step out of that heaviness, that challenge, that obstacle, and just give in and say, okay, I'm taking a break from this. I need a break. Then you start to get things under control, right? That you're like, okay, I'm letting that go, but I needed this recharge and now I feel better. We have the hopes and fears. There's always enough. Always wondering, like, is this going to be enough? Is this going to change? But then always saying, yeah, there is always enough. There's always going to be a solution. There's always going to be a way to get past this. And, looking within and saying, okay, really listening to that inner voice and say, yeah, like I've had challenges before. I've always been able to get through things in the past. I know I'll get through this again. This is just another challenge. This is just another obstacle, right? I'm going to use those tools that work for me, that I can change and turn things around. And then your potential outcome, look at that. I love it. I love when the cards are just, that's why I love doing this, because it's so amazing. Like, I love it. Let it shine. And we have 10 of Cups, which I've said before is that I feel like the 10 of Cups is coming out for Capricorn. And here we are. Let it shine, which I said before in the beginning that I love let it shine, shining your feathers, strutting around like a peacock, saying, how proud you are of yourself, going after your 10 of Cups, working through challenges and obstacles, using those tools that you have that you can, when you're struggling, that you can work for, relying on yourself. I feel like that's the most important thing. I feel like, yes, you can have the support system around you, but I feel like if you know that you can rely on yourself and you can get yourself through those situations, I just feel like that is such a powerful thing, because you're not giving your power to anyone else. I'm starting to get emotional, but I'm going to keep it on track here, because this is what I'm learning for me too, right? I'm going through these things too. I can relate to a lot of these readings too. And that's why I got into tarot, was because tarot helped me so much, because I love those readers and those messages. And they're like, keep going, keep pushing, you can do it, it'll happen, good's coming in, put yourself in that energy, like I love that. Like I wanted to be a part of that. I think if I was to go back to school again, I think I would probably be a therapist. I think if I could retry it, which is crazy because I failed psychology when I was in, at the time I wasn't in the mental place to deal with it. But I love helping people. I love seeing people succeed and be happy and being that peacock and letting their feathers just shine, just shining and being happy. And that's why I love doing this. And I'm just like, you can do it, come on, you can do it. So I'm learning these things too, and I'm achieving my 10 of Cups, and I've had my struggles, I've had my ups and downs, I've had those questions, but it's like I'm learning that I can rely on myself, that I've been through so much and I can get through it and I can do it. I've had other challenges that have been way harder than this, and I've persevered and I've pushed through. And, I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising, so I'm going through these challenges too. And I just love that. I love that the 10 of Cups keeps coming out. And especially with the potential outcome is, again, that 10 of Cups. It's just like, yeah, but it's like sometimes we wonder, how do we get to the 10 of Cups? How do we get through the challenges? And so, like I said, use those tools, use that support, relying on yourself, right? Beginner mind, if something isn't working, how do we change it, right? Stepping away and have those fun moments, just taking a break from overthinking and over processing, And that can really help so much. Trying different things, but not being too overwhelmed by it. Because sometimes I get too many ideas and then I'm just like, rein it in, rein it in. All right, so let's get a Star Dragons. We have legacy, persistence. I love it. Persistence. Not giving up, right? When the challenges happen, that's what I was saying is, you're like, how do I get to my 10 of Cups? It's like, okay, if this isn't working, then let's try that. Let's have the beginner mind. Let's step away, right? Let's give into, okay, this way didn't work. What else can work? Always knowing that there is enough, that things will happen for you, right? It's that persistence and not giving up and pushing yourself. And that's how you become strong. That's how you become resilient. That's how you know that you can rely on yourself, which is the most priceless thing I feel there is. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.